Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at uranium energy. It is time for another update, and it seems that we have managed to reach the ideal targets that we were looking for in this retracement to the downside. Now we will be discussing in a moment about the critical levels, the relevant levels that we need to break to confirm or have an initial signal that we have formed the bottom. That wouldn't be necessarily a full confirmation, but we will be checking out that in a few moments, because quickly I want to go through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we are still tracking this series of 1-2 setups that have formed in this area, where now we are looking for the third wave that is expected to develop. Now within this wave 3 we do expect to form it within an impulse, and that is a bit of an issue because so far we don't have a structure that can be really even called an impulse yet. We do have an ABC to the upside possible here, that this could be a wave 1 up. We have here a wave 2 down, and then another ABC in a possible wave 3. We have an ABC here in a wave 4, and then we could be finding out that we managed to form another ABC in a 5th wave to the upside. Well, that would be a 5-wave structure to the upside, but it would not be an impulse in a wave 3. In the best case scenario, that could be an initial leading diagonal in a wave 1. We could find a correction afterwards in a wave 2, and then form the impulse to the upside afterwards in a wave 3. No problem, but this movement itself cannot be the actual wave 3. Now, we do have other interpretations that could allow for this to still work out into an impulse, and that is what we are tracking in the blue scenario, where we are looking instead at a series of 1-2 setups that have formed in this area, and then we are tracking this latest 1-2 setup to hold the area of support between the $13.8 all the way down to the $10.6 for continuation to the upside in a direct wave 3. Now, if this really is to play out, we do expect quite an explosive movement, and if we fail to get it, it is most likely the case that we are playing out within the white scenario, where we are building a diagonal structure to the upside instead. Now, within the white scenario, we do also allow for an extended area of support, and it is between the $13.7 all the way down to the $9 level, the 61.8% retracement of the wave 3. And as long as this level holds, we can still track continuation in at least another high within this wave 5 to the upside. Now, here in the shorter time frame, in the previous video, we were discussing about this continuation to the downside, where we were tracking an ABC structure, and we were looking within this wave C to reach the ideal target of the wave A, which is the 100% extension, the $11.6 level. And we managed to get there. We pushed slightly below, but we already even started a small recovery. Now, the count that we have been tracking internally actually assumes that we should, or we could still see further continuation to the downside, and I'm not going to exclude that possibility. Even though we reached the ideal target, it is just that, an ideal target. It doesn't need to get there, and it certainly doesn't need to stop there, so we do need to be watching out for continuation lower. Now, in this internal wave 3 that has been forming, which we have been tracking, and we had the resistance area for, we didn't manage to get into the resistance area, but I do have to say, within impulsive third waves, with such strength, we don't always actually get deep enough retracements to even get to the areas of resistance or support. And in this case, I wouldn't focus too much into the exact internals of this third wave to the downside, the exact count. It doesn't matter too much for me, and I will just assume that at this point we have a bottom here within a wave 3. It is, by the way, possible for this entire wave C to be done. I don't need necessarily any additional lows, but if we are to watch out for resistance and watch out for a possible breakout, we do need to break above those levels that would be or would present as resistance for a wave 4 within a possible impulse developing here within the wave C. And in that case, I would be watching out at the levels between the $12.3 all the way up to the $13.4 level. If we manage to break above the 50% retracement, well, that would be a pretty good indication that this movement to the downside is done, and then we would have a chance, an attempt to form this next push higher either in the wave 5 in white or the third wave in blue. Now, there is, even if we managed to break out here of this area, we do still have the possibility of extending this correction. It could turn into a larger ABC pattern overall, yeah, no problem there, but it is really indicating, breaking above the 50% retracement here, is that this movement is most likely done. This direct downside is most likely done, and we are looking for either a larger correction or the movement higher. How will we be able to determine which it is? Well, we will need to determine and hopefully find an initial 5-wave structure higher, and then we can look for a possible 1-2 setup within the blue scenario, or an AB setup within the white interpretation, where we are expecting instead an ABC structure within the 5th wave to the upside. But if we are looking from a larger time frame perspective, this was and still is actually the area of support from a large time frame perspective. Right now we are in the support we were waiting for many weeks, ever since we pushed into even the $13.8 level. I remember that was the 138.2% extension we were looking to reach within this wave 3, and we pushed even higher and higher, and we were always looking out for such a retracement, and we finally got it. This is the larger support zone area, and once this is done, we may get another move up, and this may be it. We may be looking at quite a deep retracement afterwards, and honestly, there is no telling at this point if we will get another opportunity to enter at even lower prices within this correction. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.